What's up everybody? How much can you make as an insurance adjuster in 2018? Well, let's find out. Also, you can download the spreadsheet that I'm going to go through at adjustertv.com/spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do this. Let's roll. Blow it up. Today we're going to talk about your startup expenses, your ongoing storm expenses, and then a way to figure out how many claims you need to do per storm and per season in order to reach your financial goals. Head on over to adjustertv.com where I've got this available as a download. So let's get right down to it. First things first. Basically, this is just a running tally of all of the things that you have bought or need to buy for before you go on a storm. And as you got your laptop, which a lot of you already have. You want to make sure that your laptop has the cojones to run Xactimate 28, and of course you got your ladder and your other equipment tape measure. I would recommend getting 2 of those. I recommend getting 40-foot tapes. It's hard to find them at the store, so you have to you can order them off Amazon, and I'd get at least 2 of those because you're going to break them. And then of course Xactimate, which is $315 a month. I went to Vail National way back in 1999, and they still have this 2-week residential program that I took. Travel expenses for your networking stuff. Other equipment includes printer, plus ink, and Cougar Paws, and the scheduler that we went over in the previous video. Naturally your licenses, and then I've got a bunch of blank ones here, and you can change those to whatever you want to. So next thing we have is our general storm expenses, and I set this up to where you can change on all these, the white fields, except for the fuel calculators where I made them the blue fields are changeable. But for your general storm expenses, hotel, obviously the lower this is, the better. You can find Motel 6 for $39 a night, but you're not going to have a kitchen in there. And if you're going to be on a storm for a long time, you need a place you can't be eating out every single night for every single meal. Otherwise, you'll become poor and fat. Obviously, you want to find a place that has weekly or monthly rates. And that'll knock this number down a little bit. New York City area, Long Island, there's no cheap place to stay around there. This is one of the reasons why I don't like to go on storms in New York, and I usually say no. So next we have fuel, and I've got this set up to where you could do it by the mile, cost per mile. And in here we have, my car has 20 gallons, and these numbers you want to change here in these blue fields. I have 20 gallons in my tank in my car. I get about 17.9 miles to the gallon. Right now it's 241 per gallon, so that means the cost per tank is $48.20. I get 358 miles out of a tank, and it's 13 cents a mile. Only problem is that I don't think that that's accurate for what you'll spend on a storm, because you're going to be sitting in your car when it's idling with the AC on, even if you're not writing your claims up on site, which I recommend. But if you're not doing that, you're still going to have your AC going, and you're still going to be sitting there. You might put photos in or be making some phone calls or whatever, or eating your lunch, and this number is going to be different. So I do it by tanks. So I'm usually filling up once every other day on most storms. So I'll put in an average of 4 tanks per week, and so that's like a half a tank a day. And so $27.54 is what I'm spending a day, about almost $30 a day on gas. So I run this up here, and this by day, so this calculates out to $826 worth of fuel in 30 days, which is probably pretty accurate. Next thing we have is office supplies. Xactimate is monthly. And you got a bunch of blank ones here, and you can add stuff in as you go to change the numbers around. All right, so let's talk about production. So typically you'll show up on storm, and they'll give you 30 to 35 claims. So if you do only what they give you, your total expenses are going to be $2,100, which we picked up from down here. And your earnings, your gross earnings, are going to be $7,700 if you're making about $220 per claim. So your total earnings less expenses is $55. And then if you want to pay yourself back for your startup expenses, which down here we had $6,300, then you're in the hole $839. And this number will turn red when it's negative. So if we have 55 here, then obviously that changed to black. This number here is 220. That's for average, and this is for phone claims. This is for regular, like little wind claims. This is for big hail claims. This is for great big commercial claims. If you average it out over the course of a year, it's coming in at right around $220 per claim, which If you're fast, you can do most claims in about an hour. So that's $220 an hour is kind of the way I look at it. So if you want to end the year with $100,000, you're going to have to make more than $100,000, obviously. So what would that take? So let's try 200 claims. Nope, not even close. Let's try 400 claims. Nope. 600 claims. 600 claims looks like it gets us in the ballpark. So your total is going to be, your gross income is $132,000. Your total expenses, because you're going to be spending 300 days on storm. So if you're doing 2 claims a day, your time on storm calculator right here is showing that it's going to be, you're going to be out on the field for 10 months. You want to make this number higher than 2, but my average is 4.5. This number here is including paper days or office days. They're including rain days. They're including days off. Like later on in the storm, I'll usually take Sunday off because I'm not going to work 7 days a week. When I've been on a storm for 2.5 months, it's just crazy. And so that knocks you down less than half of that. So I expect to be out about 5 months, 5 or 6 months ish, to pick up around 132 if I'm running and gunning. Total expenses on that, since you're spending less time in the field, is half of what it was if you were only doing 2 a day, which is $26,000 for your expenses because you're spending 10 months in the field instead of, let's say, just 4. It's 13, which is half that. Your net, was guessing a 20% tax rate, you're getting just under $100,000. You're taking home $94,000, which is pretty good. I mean, it's, that's not chump change. Generally speaking, I have a minimum that I set for myself when I'm doing regular claims, and that is, I try not to do any less than 7 a day on most storms. I don't think it's worth it to do, personally for me, because I don't want to spend all this time on the storm. So I'll do more per day if possible. If I really need to get caught up, I can hammer out 10 to 12 in a day. And this 4.5 number covers that. So this is where I sit. Brand new people, you might average 2 or 1.5. It's going to take you a while to get 600 claims in a year because you got to get that number up. All right, head on over to adjustertv.com where you can download this free spreadsheet that I put together for you guys. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel to help the videos that I put together rank higher in the YouTube search so that more people can see these, so that we can get more eyes on what we're trying to do here, and it'll help us going forward, because the bigger community we have, the more we can answer everybody's questions and kind of get that bar raised for quality and get new people off to a good start. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great storm.